My last video, I discussed how the student loans in Australia are indexed each year in line with inflation, and the government is looking at it, and on the face, it's fair. I agree. It makes sense that you're providing a loan and you're just trying to preserve the value of money. But here's the flip side. The loans are being provided not by a financial institution, but by the government. And what is the government's responsibility? They are there to help the economy grow, look for the best interest of the people. And that's where I think this policy fails. So yes, on the face, it's fair to preserve the value of money, get that money back, index it. But it's not the government's job. We are being asked on one side that we need a trained, skilled workforce. Like we need everything. We need university, grads from the right education, the right fields. We have shortages of doctors, medical staff, IT, different fields. We have a shortage of tradies, we are struggling in the construction sector. And as a country, we are struggling. So the government should be trying to promote that. But what this policy does is it makes making it so expensive sometimes that people are thinking whether we should be doing a university degree or not. And that's where the trouble is. So the government actually needs to start thinking as a government of what's the best interest instead of trying to act like a financial institution, which unfortunately this policy is doing. Fairness aside, that's not the government's job. The government's job is different and they need to start doing it. And what they should be focusing on instead, and which is politically, something that nobody wants to do, is actually look at people who pass away. And just to remind people, if you pass away with Australian student loan, the government will not take it from your estate. So that's forgiven. And that's where I think the trouble is. So if you want to do something, look at that part of how you can recover that money. Maybe put in place a policy where a certain amount, let's say 50 or 100,000 will not be touched of the estate. Anything above that, 5-10% of that is what will be used to recover whatever money is left over until the money is recovered, or if something is left over, it's just forgiven. That makes sense. But it will make the older generation unhappy and the government is not willing to do that. And that's where the problem is. So if you want to do something right by the people and govern, that is what should be happening. But unfortunately, nobody has the guts politically to do that. And in the end, we are imposing these policies where we are adding more to the cost of living and keeping people out of housing. That is not how it should be. That is not how government should be doing things. They need to rethink and think in the better interest of the people and the community. Not just rhetoric that we need a trained workforce and everything, but actually make it plausible. Not just say people should be able to afford to live decently, actually make it affordable, because as your student loans keep going up, your borrowing power reduces, it adds to your stress, your financial capacity to borrow or do things. It has follow-on implications. It has to stop. And then go after the cohort which actually has taken the loan and is refusing to pay it back. Hopefully, someone will listen to it.